First of all, I don't think of myself as a role model. I can think of a million women that anyone out there would be better listening to and following. But you know, I am a woman in the world of music, and I've had a really long career, and I'm very grateful. And it's quite unusual still for a woman, particularly one of my age, to still enjoy a career in music. And I feel like these are funny times for women, you know, with the Me Too movement. I think it's stirred up a lot of feeling in all of us, not just women, but in our male compatriots. And as a result, I think things are slowly changing. And I think it's important that everyone takes their role seriously. And what I mean by that is speak up, speak out, take your space. We need good men to listen to women. We need women to hold their ground. We need women to forgive themselves. We need women to not experience shame. We need women to start taking what is theirs without guilt. And I think we need to reject the powers that be, the patriarchy, the governments, the men in power who are telling us that we're not of worth. And I tell any woman out there, you are as valuable as anyone. Don't you ever forget it, no matter what they tell you. The most important lesson I've learned from music is that people all over the world, regardless of gender, class, creed, we are all exactly the same. We want the same things, we respond to music in the same way, and we are all of equal importance. And being a musician is a real privilege, because you get to experience that lesson every single day, because you travel all over the world and you meet people of all different colours and sizes and shapes and sexualities, and you realise that we are all one, we all want the same thing, and we all are deserving of it. You know, that's an interesting question. I'm not entirely sure, because I've never analysed my own lyrics. But I will tell you this, Mexico has played a large role in my career, in our band's career. And I have been very inspired by the culture. And whether that is coming to Mexico City and eating your incredible food and enjoying your wonderful chocolate and your tequila and spending time with your local people, or whether it's discovering Frida Kahlo. I mean, Frida Kahlo has been enormously influential in my life, not just her incredible visuals and her paintings and her art, but who she was as a person, how she took flaws and not being perfect and turning all those flaws and imperfections into something extraordinarily beautiful that has endured through over a century now. So yeah, I think Mexico has an enduring influence on the world, actually, and I'm not being frivolous when I say I love this country very much. It's very important to me for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why. I just feel connected to it when I come here. You know, not really. I mean, being on tour is the celebration. You know, this was a very important record for us, and we got to handpick basically a few places that we would go. We played a few shows in Europe, a few shows in North America, and then we finished off here. Tonight is our last night of the entire 20 Years Paranoid tour, and it feels very fitting we do it here. And we're all in a celebratory mood. I mean, everybody's high as a kite, you know, because we feel like we survived, because touring's tough when you get to our age, you know, it's not easy. And it just feels right that we're finishing off here tonight. It's very special for us, and particularly on the celebrations of your Day of the Dead. I mean, it just feels like magical to us. It's a real privilege for us to bear witness to how you celebrate this holiday. You know, it's funny you should ask, because version 2.0 was a record that came at the time when music technology really exploded and digital recording started to take over from analog. And version 2.0 arguably is one of the first records to ever be recorded digitally. And then we transferred everything onto analog tape, because it was almost a bridge from the old world into the new world. And then we found ourselves in this new technological age. There's a lot of great things that have come from the digital world, in my opinion, through social media platforms. I feel it's become an incredible place for bands to find their people, for us all to like interconnect and exchange ideas and thoughts and whatnot. And it's also been a phenomenal place for marginalized voices to galvanize. And we're seeing that that aspect become more and more prevalent and powerful as the years go by. And I think, you know, we can only see good things from that. You know, I don't think the Me Too movement, for example, would have existed without social media. And so powerful women are galvanizing all across the world. It's not over yet. I use YouTube all the time. And I use it as a resource. It's almost like a library to me now, and I can find almost anything I want. You know, whether it's movies, videos, interviews, documentaries, and TED Talks, or whatever it is you're looking for is there on YouTube. My mother. It would be my mother, always. 2 places, one in the bed and one on an airplane. Well, one on the bed is obvious. It's just, you can enhance any moment with music, you know, and you can direct through music in the bedroom. And on planes, there's something about the sound inside a plane. It's almost like being inside a vacuum. And then you put your headphones on and the music is like, it's isolated. And there's a feeling of movement and transportation that I really love coupling with music. And it's where I get a lot of ideas to write, actually, is on an airplane listening to music. Every time's different. In some ways, yes and no. I mean, there's been a lot of music videos that have changed my life. The most recent I can think of is watching Lemonade, like just sort of roll out in front of me and see this phenomenal black woman taking over the world. And I watched the entire sort of Lemonade rollout, and I watched it like as though I was 2 years old. I mean, I was mesmerized and I was crying, and I was amazed that she had taken this pop genre and turned it into something really deep. And that kind of, it was a game changer for me in a way. I almost gave up music. I was like, Beyonce's just done it all. I may as well just give up. But yeah, she did something phenomenal with that record and those music videos. No, I mean, I'm not like a normal musician in that I fell into music completely by default. I got pulled in by default. It was never something I wanted to do. I wanted to be an actor. And I got pulled into music from meeting someone at a youth theatre that I was involved in when I was a kid. And he had a band and he was looking for a keyboard player and a backing vocalist. And he was like, would you do this? I was like, yeah, okay. And I didn't even really particularly want to do it. And then that was 35 years ago. Mexico City, everybody. I mean, I'm serious. I think people think I'm full of shit when I talk about Mexico. And I understand it. You know, you have musicians coming through your doors every day. But I really am very sincere about there's something happened here in this country between me and my band, and something that happened here in Mexico City. And I will demonstrate this with a simple example. We have toured now for 2 months straight, and every venue that we go to, we look at all these bands that have played in these venues. There's always pictures of every band that you can even think of on the walls of all these venues. We have not appeared on one of them. And then I walked into the arena today and there is a picture of me up on the wall. The first time this has ever happened to me. I'm like, this is because I'm with my people. So there you have it. Thank you so much. Muchas gracias.